This is just, I'm telling you, this is why we can't have nice things. What's crack-a-lackin', fellow home dogs? It's your old pal Channel Pup. With all that's been going on, I'm pretty sure everyone's forgotten about this, but there was a Harley Quinn movie out earlier this year. A Harley Quinn movie that did very modestly at the box office. A Harley Quinn movie that was marketed as a Birds of Prey movie, with every poster featuring a design for Harley Quinn that is reminiscent of nothing. I guess she's got pigtails. That's about it. The color palette is different, the overall design is completely different. The only way in which this looked like Harley Quinn was because it looked like Margot Robbie, who had played Harley Quinn. And I'm willing to bet that everyone that saw these posters at a glance didn't realize it was a Harley Quinn movie. You know what would have fixed that? If Harley Quinn actually looked like Harley Quinn and her name was bigger on the posters, so people knew it was a Harley Quinn movie. Well, Harley Quinn's name being a little bigger on the posters is at least a thing that's remedied in the Blu-ray release. Look at that. Much better. You know what else is much better? This unused design for Harley Quinn's hero suit. Look at that. Much better. Now look, I don't want to stifle creativity here. I had pretty much long accepted that this Harley Quinn movie wasn't going to be a Harley Quinn movie that would be, you know, my Harley Quinn. I want to see the darker stories for her, they want to do the uplifting stories. Chalk it up to just a conflict of interests, I guess. I get it, they wanted to make an iconic look for Harley Quinn of their own. The process really makes a lot of sense here. The whole point of the story is Harley Quinn wants a drastic reinvention for herself, so a drastic redesign makes a lot of sense. But the yellow and the pink, I really don't like it. I can see what they're going for, but it doesn't look like Harley Quinn anymore. This unused design feels more like a reappropriation of classic design elements of Harley Quinn, but worn in a very new way. This is an updated look that works. This would have been the best Harley look in live action so far. Now, I'll say this, the smeared makeup around the eyes and stuff, yeah, they should probably tidy that up if they want to present her as more of a hero look rather than, you know, the whole tragic character. The whole point of the fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn is the fact that Harley Quinn is breaking free. It's an uplifting story. It's a happy one. A happy ending for everybody's favorite femme fatale. And yeah, they got creative with it, but I think there comes a point where it's like, okay, what is even the point of doing this character if they don't really have that much in common with the version that everybody knows and loves? You can argue about the artistic merit of the Sonic the Hedgehog design in the early trailers of the movie all you want, but if Sonic doesn't look like Sonic, then people are not going to be sold on Sonic, and I think the same does go for Harley Quinn to a certain degree. I think Warner Brothers had faith in the idea that Harley Quinn is a household name now, and people will be able to immediately recognize her, even with a complete and total change of clothes. I've said in the previous video, I think much of what went wrong with Birds of Prey from a financial and marketing standpoint is that Warner Brothers had way too much confidence in Harley Quinn as an IP. They didn't really consider the target audience or the things that people have come to expect from Harley Quinn. Now, okay, that means it's a film that's made not necessarily with marketing in mind, but with art in mind, and that's to be applauded. My impression from Birds of Prey was that it was honest filmmaking. But I think when it comes to adapting a familiar IP, certain things do need to be taken into account, and even if you do redesign Harley Quinn, I think that key color scheme needs to be there, whether it's red and blue or whether it's red and black. I understand what they were doing. It was Harley Quinn breaking out from what Harley Quinn is expected to be. But I think it's another one of those things that it boils down to the TV show of Harley Quinn did it better. In the TV show, she's wearing her Jester outfit when she's with the Joker, and then when she breaks off from him, it changes to more of the punk rock sort of biker look. Very New 52 inspired. Still immediately recognizable as Harley Quinn, but a very, very different take on the design. I mean, this also does come from something of a place of bias as well. Like, for me, the criteria with like a comic book movie character adaptation is I would really like them to kind of stay pretty true to the source material. That doesn't mean this stuff has to look like an Alex Ross painting. It doesn't have to be that faithful, although I do really love Alex Ross paintings. I think there is room for creativity by adapting the old designs without making a brand new design entirely. I think there's a very big appeal of that sort of page-to-screen translation that you don't get when the character is just sporting a completely new design. And you could say it's a novelty. You could say it's whatever suits the film best, but honestly, I think this look in Birds of Prey would have worked wonders. It would have got die-hard Harley Quinn fans interested again. At a glance, Harley Quinn would be immediately recognizable, so the masses that know who Harley Quinn is and like, yeah, I like Harley Quinn, they'll know what they're getting into. I feel like this would have been a win-win. But hey, maybe they'll adopt this in the future. Like, I personally really would like to see a much more faithful version of Harley Quinn in the films. We don't really know what James Gunn is necessarily going to deliver, but from the looks of things on set photos, he is at least returning to the red and black color scheme. scheme. As a matter of fact, the design that she's seen sporting in those set photos is a very radical departure from her look in Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. That is a marathon of a title. That didn't help. Could this maybe mean that she's slipping back into old habits, that maybe Harley Quinn is back with the Joker? Because that would be very on form for her character. And honestly, I lost a lot of interest in the Harley Quinn movie franchise version when I saw that they weren't really going to go into that. I mean, to be honest, I lost interest the second I saw Suicide Squad, but the second I saw they were skipping all the way to the Emancipation already, I was like, okay, I'm not going to be getting what I wanted here. It's all stuff to take into account when a movie doesn't really make the profits that the studio perhaps wanted. The fans should only accommodate for like a small fraction of the actual audience that goes to see it, but that audience is still going to be bigger with fans in there than it is without. I mean, I'm sure there's Harley diehards that are just going to be there for Harley Quinn's sake. They're not going to care what she's wearing, and that's, you know, all power to them. But put it this way, if in terms of appearance even just that, I think I would be more inclined to go see a Harley Quinn movie. If this design were on all the posters, I think I would be more inclined to see this Harley Quinn movie, because I'm like, wow, that's classic Harley. Yeah, really a bit of a waste in my opinion. I mean, also look at this Huntress design right here. It's obviously a very grounded, very practical take on Huntress, but you've got the white stripes in there, and that's a very iconic part of her look. I think ultimately there was a bit more leeway with the rest of the Birds of Prey in this movie, but I think if you don't get Harley Quinn right, or you don't sell your audience on Harley Quinn, that's where the problem lies. So I'm gonna get off of their back. Just so you guys know, there is a new giveaway active as well, so a link will be posted in the comments below. What do you think, guys? Comment below and discuss. And as always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, why don't you head over to channelpup.net, where you can visit our blog page Dr. Blogtopus, but you can also buy merch, such as this tasteless t-shirt. And I mean, if you insist here, guys, maybe hit subscribe, maybe hit the like button, and in the description below are the links to my social media handles, including the Patreon, where your contribution can help me run this channel, and really keep it alive. That aside, I am really grateful that you checked out this video today. Thank you so much for watching, fellow home dog. See you on another video.